All right. What do I do on a Debbie day? Actually, I've been experimenting with some different bread. I'm finishing up here. I got one last loaf to go ahead and shape and get in my pan. This is just a sandwich bread. Anyway, I'm not here to teach a sourdough class. So I love these silicone inserts. Anyway, all right, so that was that one. We'll go ahead and I love the little shower cap things. And 15 seconds left on the timer. So let's see how that's doing. I've got 3 loaves done. This is kind of a failed experiment yesterday. And let's see what we got going on in here. Oh my gosh, smells amazing. So let's get them out of the oven. Wow, those came out absolutely beautiful. We'll go ahead and got jalapeno, actually that one's like cheddar and cinnamon bread. So I've got that, I've got those done. And another favorite tool, I love this. I've done some experiments in here with some bread. I think I didn't find anything new, but so I'm gonna finish this bread, get this bread put away, and then I'll show you what else I'm gonna do today. So much grass, so much lawn. I told Brian the other day, I said, do you realize, I said, we literally just mow probably more than most of our friends have for yards or what they own with their house on them. So we got a lot of rain. There's the barn that I actually referenced before we took all the sides off. We're gonna have a roof raising. So anyway, we've got a pretty cool setup right here. We do everything with our gators. I was pulling some weeds, picking up baler twine that I see laying around the farm. So right here we've got this, I've got some Roundup in there. I'm gonna go this way. I'm gonna head east today because that's the way the wind is coming from the east. So I don't wanna spray and have the Roundup, don't wanna have the Roundup hitting me in the face. So I'm still trying to figure out how to do this. So here we go, I have a gun. I'm gonna see what I can do here. Go slowly along the barn. Actually, you know what? I can show you without driving. Just gotta always make sure that that's this hose doesn't get caught up in your wheel. So here we go. Let's see if you can figure it out. Just spray. Hard to show you. All right, as with most things, I have a hard time doing anything with one hand. Whew, okay, I'm done with that. Kind of went around some of the trees and along the barn edges and got Roundup sprayed. A little rock wall here. I strategically tried to place some rocks since that's how I get up here to the barn. Now I get to play for a little bit. Pallets. I've got a lot of free pallets, pallet boards, pallet wood. Man, I have so much fun making stuff out of pallets. We're in the barn that we're gonna raise. You can see how low the roof is. We're gonna raise that so we can use this as a hay and straw storage barn. So it's kind of like never mind my mess, but I would rather create and play than clean and organize. So I keep spreading out. I've got my chop saw, all different kinds of boards. Been using this window here as kind of my table. So I'm making my grandkids a mud kitchen. So this will be the tabletop. I've been sanding the boards really well so that nobody gets any splinters. This is our old, we used to milk cows back in the day, and this is where the milk tank sat. And then that was the room there where we would get like It's a milk replacer to feed calves, and we had hot water. Then my son turned it into a weightlifting barn, so we still have a few evidences of that in here. I got my dad's table saw, very bittersweet. I love having it, and also very sad that I don't have to return it. That hurts. I miss him. But he taught me a lot, and when I'm out here working, making things, I'm thinking about him. I've pretty much just made kind of like planters. I've got a couple different wooden planters around the yard. I've taken pallets and made like a coat rack or whatever. Well, here, I'll show you outside a couple of the planters I made, different things I like to get into. An old empty window frame and an old metal wheel. Just trying to make this barn look like something other than a big white wall. Oh, my big hidden jug of water. So that's just one, I guess. I have to remember, I don't like to video with the camera this way. And there's another one, just a planter. Let me show you a little bit of the mud kitchen. I'm trying to create it as a kit. Number one, it'll be easier to get to the kids. And second, how fun to build it with them. Selfie stick is great, but not from this angle. Anyway, I cut all the boards. I'll show you what I did. Very creative. Actually, it took me a long time to sit and figure this one out. So I cut boards all to length. We'll leave a gap. I don't know really how to make this go super fast, so we'll just pretend. I'm proud of my drawing up my own blueprint. So remember Pizza Farmer. My son has a few extra of the real pans that we use in the restaurant, so we're gonna get some for a sink. And I have this a little bit backwards on the table, but I have a brace under there so I could have, this is kind of irritating. This will fit in there perfectly. There you go. And then we're going to use this as like their water. And I have a little brace to brace that in there. So when all is said and done, oh my goodness, it'll be a table. So they can get the water out of here. It'll have a back on it. It'll, you know, have a back with a couple pallet boards. They're all cut. Like I said, I'm not building it because I want to build it with them. And then I have it all laid out. Sorry, make you dizzy. Right there, I've got. We'll build a shelf for the bottom and put some hooks on, and they can have their own little mud kitchen. So that's the stuff I do. I also look around the farm. Oh, this has been going on for 8 minutes, so I don't know that anybody would want to watch this for 8 minutes. But let's check out the raspberry patch. So we'll talk a little bit more later about cutting hay. Brian and Jeff are out cutting hay, so I'll go visit them in a little bit. You can see my little, I call it my woodshed. Oh, the milk parlor behind me. Added the fake windows instead of looking at a great big white barn. My brain is always in creating, designing mode, and I love it when the boys go away. Debbie gets to play. So let's see, Brian's, yeah, they're cutting hay. We got, it's now June, I don't know, what is it, 27? The calendar says it's time to go. We try to cut every 30 days, and we have hay fields in different areas, but so here's a couple of my Facebook posts. I've referenced what I was doing out here in the raspberries, and you can see how amazing, full and lush they are. Thank you, Lord, for the rain. Now this side of the patch didn't do real great last year, but they're coming back, and there's been great bee activity, so a lot of pollinators. The straw is doing a really good job. You kind of see that in there. Doing a really good job at keeping the weeds down. This is about the extent of my gardening. A friend of mine gave me some lily bulbs last year. I chose to put them in a row right here, and they're there. Some of them have flowers. I've relocated some of them, transplanted them to elsewhere, and all those raspberries along the barn, I don't know if you can see them, all volunteers, and I think that's going to be the most beautiful part of the raspberry bushes. And another lucky thing that we have here is had a bunch of sunflowers in this area, and yeah, those are all volunteer sunflowers. So I was able to oh, let me show you one of my other things. But I was able to come out here and dig up some sunflowers, so I didn't have to grow them from seeds. They were voluntarily growing right over here. For point of reference, a couple of weeks ago I sprayed around out here. I call that my she shed, but it just stores stuff for our campfires. But that's what it looks like. And I also sprayed around along the barn edge and my raspberries as well, so that I could get a good, I kind of like excellence. We don't do mediocre. Try not to do mediocre, do excellent. And so when I mow, spend all that time, I really do like it to look nice. All right, what may appear to be an eyesore, which it is, I see great potential. You see all them nice boards? Woo! I love to repurpose things. So I came by, I grabbed them boards, and I put a nice border right here. Usually the grass and things grow into the sunflowers. There we go. So I know how to make things plumb and straight, and so I put a nice little edging there, and now I have sunflowers growing in there. Don't really want to garden, don't want to have to garden, but we do eat a lot of jalapenos, so I planted the jalapenos in there amongst the sunflowers. So basically, right there. Whoops, I can't tell. Anyway, right there, back behind me, that's my garden. 2 tomato plants and a pepper. So, wow, I don't think I've ever made a video this long. We've got some, look at those volunteer sunflowers growing in my rock garden, but I have a really hard time uprooting anything that wants to voluntarily grow. So, isn't it funny? The volunteers actually grow better than something you plant and care for and nurture and make sure you have all the right soil. So, well, there's a few more things I want to go play with. And right there, I'm going to take that Manitou with a bucket and I'm going to move a few things around. Okay, on that note, I hope your day is as fun as mine.